Good morning, guys. Happy Earth Day. So today will be our last Earth Day art lesson, and I hope that you enjoy it. So I wanted to do something with the earth and kind of show how we are kind of in charge of trying to take care of it, and we want it to like flourish and be its best. So I put a plant on top to show that like we want it to grow. We want things to grow in our earth to be healthy, and I have like a little heart. I found this idea again on one of my teacher blogs, so I did not make this up myself, but I thought it was really pretty and cool, and I think that it symbolized really well how we can take good care of our earth. So we're going to draw one of these today with the hands holding it. You can draw it, you don't have to do it that way. You could have one hand holding the earth, or you can just make the earth with things growing out of it. You can really take this any way that you want to. So I'm gonna start with my blank sheet of paper, and I'm gonna draw with pencil just in case I need to erase. So I started with the hands first, and I just made them really simple, no crazy details or anything. So I'm going to come out, show kind of where the thumb is going to stick out. That might be a little too tall. Okay. So drawing hands is a little challenging if you've never done it before, so just do your best. It doesn't have to be anything, like I said, super realistic or, detailed. Just do your best. Okay, and then I wanted to have like a little space in between, so in my example I leave like a little space. Again, and then I used oil pastels for mine with watercolor paint, but you could use any coloring materials that you have at home. And actually for this one I'm going to use crayons, because oil pastel, even though I didn't touch it to it, but oil pastel resists watercolor, so watercolor is a really good background for oil pastel, but it does the same thing with crayons. So if you happen to have watercolor and you want to try this but you don't oil pastels, it does the same thing with crayons. So I'm just going to draw a quick guideline so that my fingers are the same height. Okay. And then I can erase. So I always tell my students, draw light until it's right, because if you draw really hard, pushing hard down on your pencil, it's really hard to erase it. So then we're going to draw the earth, and you want to start with like the bottom of the circle, and then you want to think about if the circle was going to continue, because I don't want it to be too ovally. So I'm just going to kind of keep moving my pencil around till I feel like my earth looks somewhat right shaped. Okay, maybe I'll just make this line like straighter. Okay, so there's my earth. For the continents, I just did my best. I looked up a couple pictures of Earth, and I just did my best. No worries, actually, this would probably have to come down. Probably a little skinny on that side, but that's okay. I kind of, like I said, I didn't go too crazy making sure that it was exact. Just kind of rough sketched. As best I could. There we go. And then that might come up a little bit. So remember, draw light till it's right, and even if you make some green blobs, everyone's gonna know what you mean, so I wouldn't worry too much about making it perfect, but it's up to you, whatever makes you happy. Okay, so there's my earth, and then I can draw my plants that are kind of growing. So I drew 2 lines and I kind of angled them to look like they're growing right on top of the earth. And then in my leaves. I cannot believe how much it snowed. I feel like we've had more snow today than we have had in all of February and March. More snow this month. I don't know what I just said. I might have said today, but no. More snow this month of April than we've had in our 2 supposedly wintry months. Okay, so there's my heart on top. So now that I've gotten to this point, I'm just gonna color, like I said, this time with crayon. So if you have crayons at home, and then, you know, you don't have to do the background, but we'll get to that in just a second. So I'm gonna do a quick time lapse of coloring, so that way you don't have to watch the whole thing slowly. Okay, so I colored in my earth, my hands, the plants, and my heart. So you'll notice that oil pastel will kind of give you that like richer, thicker look, but crayons work just as well, and I think they're very light, and I like how like some white shows through. That makes it look kind of textured and really pretty. So I'll just quickly show you how I did the background and then send you guys on your way. So I used 6 colors. So for 6 colors, I'm going to need to make 6 sections, so 5 lines. And I just did it like roughly ahead of time so I would know where to paint. So I tried to divide the paper up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. And again, like that was really rough. I didn't measure anything. I just kind of did it by eye. So you're welcome to measure if you want to. So I did keep the watercolor like away from my designs, but with oil pastel especially, and also crayon, watercolor will be pushed away. Like it can't go over like the oil and the wax. The only thing with crayon is like where there's white, watercolor can go in. So you can keep it away like I did, but for the most part, the wax of the crayon and then the oil of the oil pastel will push the water away. So I'm going to start with my rainbow down here, and I chose a rainbow because it kind of reminded me, well, it's what I saw in the blog, so it's not totally my doing, but I thought it looked really beautiful, and it reminded me of how my art lesson about the rainbow connection. So I'm just doing like kind of a big blob of watercolor, and I'm not really, I'm not bringing it to the edge, and then I'm not going to worry if there's different shades of red, so like lighter and darker. I might make this one a little darker, but I think the way that it's imperfect looks really nice. And I'm not going to paint all the way to my little indent line that I made. It was just a guide. But I can apparently make this a little taller. And then if I'm doing my Roy G. Biv, onto orange. So despite the snowy weather, I hope you guys have a good day. Maybe some of you guys like the snow. I do like the snow. I just don't really like it anymore now. I'm all done with it. yellow. And again, you don't have to do this with watercolor. Like, you could just do it with other crayons if you want something different, like, so that I think when you use multiple materials, it can like make, you know, each other stand out. So you could always use marker if you did your earth and stuff with crayon. You also could do your earth and stuff with marker. I lost track of my thought. Okay, green. And I just thought this is a nice art piece too to think about. You know, art can be powerful, it can make people really think, and so we're going to kind of hope that our Earth Day drawings remind our audiences to take good care of the earth. Okay, blue. I don't know if you can hear Libby right now, but she's a little fussy now, ready for, she wakes up kind of early, but then she's only up for like, I don't know, hour or two before she's ready for like a mid-morning nap. And I think that's where she's heading. It's kind of funny actually, like when she goes down for a nap, she'll like fight it so much, she'll just talk. She'll do like baby talk all until she falls asleep, and it gets quieter and quieter. It's really funny. Which maybe all babies do that, but I didn't know very many babies before Libby. Okay, so then last one is purple. In my other example, I'll show you. I did it like here, here, and here, but I don't really love that, so I'm not going to do that this time. I'm just going to do it on the sides. I felt like looking back at it, those sections were just like too small. Okay, almost done. So I hope you guys enjoy this. If you choose to do it, I'd love to see pictures. I miss your faces. I'd love to see your artwork because it makes me so happy. So if you can share, that's great. This is my finished Earth Day piece, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye.